It is now my honor to ask Daniel J. Master I did that wrong, Master Totoro, who will present the Distinguished Alumni Award for Professional Achievement, to come forward.
Thank you, everybody, and good evening. Certainly a privilege to be here tonight and to honor Vin. He's been a true testament to what natural ability, hard work, and a great education can lead to in business. And so I'll talk a little bit about my experience with Vin and how I feel about him. I first met Vin in 2004 when he was hired as a consultant to help Hanover devise strategies to reposition a major part of our business which was underperforming. Vin had already achieved so much in the insurance industry in positions of senior leadership with reputable companies, and so his stellar reputation preceded him. Vin so profoundly impressed the leaders at Hanover that they not only took to heart his recommendations, but they also hired him to implement them, which, as some of us know, consultants don't always do that.
We try.
That's right. By building a strong team, he turned the business segment into what is now a very profitable part of our business, which has lasted for several years. With the few minutes that I have, I'd like to highlight three aspects of Vin that, in my view, set him apart as a true champion, not only in the insurance industry, but in business in general, and why I believed he was an exceptional candidate for this award. Vin is an exceptionally clear thinker. He was faced with a complex set of issues. Some of those were regulatory, some of those were market-driven. Vin sorted through the complexity and prioritized what was important to devise a winning strategy to overcome those challenges, and something that Vin has done his entire career. Second, Vin exudes confidence to accomplish the task at hand, regardless of how difficult. He is results-oriented, driven to outcomes, and it's evident in his work ethic and his professional demeanor. And lastly, Vin is a team leader, but more importantly, he's a team player. He created significant followership and loyalty in those who worked for him, primarily due to the hard work that Vin did in the trenches himself. If others that work with Vin were here, they'd say he could be tough and demanding, which a lot of good leaders can be. But those who worked closely with him understood his vision and were loyal to him as a result. He often reciprocated by supporting them and by being their advocate and lobbying on their behalf when necessary. Not surprisingly, when Vin successfully completed his work at Hanover, he moved on to another challenge at a firm in New York, one who needed his expertise and skill sets, and one who I know now appreciates what they have in him. It has been my pleasure to work with him, to call him a friend, and to nominate him for this most prestigious award. Congratulations, Vin.
Picture's only about 15 years old. It's hard to say something new. I agree with Todd. I agree with Steve. First, I want to thank Danny for the presentation. I want to thank President Maloney, Tara, and the Alumni Association for this honor. But I really want to thank Tom McNamara. We all know Tom. He calls us and says, "Give money." He does it regularly, but he does it so well. Tom was instrumental in my reconnecting with Worcester State. As Danny said, I joined the Hanover in 2004, and I'd been there maybe 2 weeks. There was a little piece in the paper. Tom called. And called and called. I joined the foundation, and it is the best thing I could have done. It really helped me give back to Worcester State, which Worcester State gave to me. I want to congratulate the foundation board and Tom for the great success they had a couple of years ago on the fundraising drive. That was fantastic. Tom was persistent, focused, has done a great job in leading the foundation and the fundraising efforts. And Barry will say that about you in a couple of years. I want to go back to 1964. I was a freshman. Worcester State clearly was nothing like this at the time. It was Worcester State College. And I still want to say Worcester State College. It's hard because that's what we lived with. But I wasn't an overachiever when I got here. I got here because it cost $200 a semester or $400 a year. Second semester, I had a freshman composition class with Joseph Foley. We called him Jumping Joe Foley. He was a very animated man. Tom, in fact, was able to reconnect me with him after I joined the foundation. But he's the example for me of what Worcester State is all about. He literally changed my life. He was highly animated. He had this thing he called the beginning list of distinctions. And it was just a way of looking at things. And one of the distinctions was you can ingest and you can digest information. Now, I was a kid from Dorchester Street in Worcester. I had no idea what that meant, but it started to sink in. He taught us how to challenge ourselves, taught us to look at how we react to things and how we move forward with them. He taught me how to think, and he motivated us. I learned with him that I was capable of original ideas. I was capable of convincing people of those ideas. And he led me that. That's what Worcester State was all about. I was a first generation college kid. My father worked in the mills down on what used to be Lower Millbury Street. Those are gone. My mother worked at the old St. Vincent's Hospital up on the hill. So those things were just so alien to me. But truly, it was a life-changing experience. And like I said, all that was for $400 a year, which was unbelievable. I left Worcester in 1973. Went into the insurance business, and I happened to fall in love with that business. I started in 1971. It was great. I still love what I do there. Never thought I'd come back to Worcester, but 2004, I was a consultant, as Dan said, and consultants go places. I joined the Hanover and Dan and rejoined Worcester State University. I'm very happy to have done that. But how do you succeed? It's really simple. You have to find someone that motivates you to challenge yourself. And that's what Worcester State did for me. I was a lazy kid and didn't know what success was until I got here and learned how to chase it and get it. So something really important that the foundation does is it gives kids like me and Todd for sure, and probably Steve, the first generation of your family to go to college comes here. And we launch people on careers that support not only the city, but the world. I read the alumni magazine when it comes out. We have people all over the world doing stuff. And in the lounge, when we had cocktails, we had exchange programs, we had 9/11 programs, all of those things that make the school as great as it is. Worcester should be thankful for Worcester State University, because I was talking to Danny. Some places have, Danny, feeder programs. The businesses in Worcester are lucky. They don't need to go out and look for feeder programs because they have all these kids coming out of school here, not just Worcester State, but the other schools in the community that support this city. So Worcester was a great city. It's a good city now. It's not as great as it was when I was a kid. But it will be, it will remain and continue to grow and be great. And it's places like this that will make this city a success. So let's launch. We've got to support the foundation. I'm sure everybody in this room does. And it's not my job to raise money for Tom, but we have to support the foundation. Because otherwise, the four of us, because I can see you nodding your head, would not be here without getting launched by Worcester State. So I want to thank Worcester State College, Worcester State University, the faculty, and everyone else for giving me this. And this is really owned by me, my new wife, Barbara, by the way. I have a new wife, Barbara. Joe, it's me, Joe Foley, and the school. So we all thank you.